Because of this struggle to get back into work and women struggling to maintain their participation in the labour market, working at the same level they were working before COVID, whether it be in terms of hours or in terms of roles within organisations, and because of the sectors that have been very heavily hit, are very female-dominated sectors, all of that is going to combine, I think, to really worsen the picture in terms of workplace gender equality.
In this pandemic, we've had women in the sectors where more job losses have occurred. And I think with the looking after children at home, the women have taken most of the brunt of that and have sacrificed their jobs in some cases, which again is bad for their future income. People are saying that it's going to take 20 years to get the gender gap to shrink again, because this has widened it in terms of income because they're losing their jobs, in terms of pensions because they're not contributing as much as they should. More women, for example, have stopped contributing to their pensions during the lockdown than men.
There will be an impact on women's pensions from this crisis. We already know that women have smaller pensions than men. They tend to take some years out for childcare where they're not contributing to a pension at all. And obviously there is earnings inequality between men and women that still prevails. So, women's pensions are significantly smaller than men.
There are also some reports which are indicating that there's certainly a very significant rise, as much as 42% reported by one legal firm, in terms of the number of inquiries relating to divorce. There was a report that came out just over a week ago which indicated that divorced women's pensions on retirement, even before COVID, were a quarter of divorced men. So there is a real risk that if marriages break up, that this could have some additional impacts on women who are divorcing at a time when actually it's a challenging work environment.
Men have much larger pension pots than women, and in fact in divorces, although the law says that you should split up the pensions, a lot of women don't do that when they divorce, and they end up with the house and later on regret it because they haven't got a steady income from the pension.
There's been no recognition of the impact on women. There's been no thought given to how they're going to protect the childcare sector, for example, to support mothers in the workplace. The shape of our transport infrastructure is actually going to change. And that has a knock-on effect, obviously, on people in rural areas, those who really depend on those services, and disproportionately women depend on public services. We are going to be turning the clock back, without doubt, on maternal employment and women's rights with, literally decades, I think, because it takes years. It's taken 20 years, actually, to get from 2/3 to 75% maternal employment. And I think that's going to be reversed in months.